Also, basically from our side, Munasa and me, we have been working on this whole concept and the philosophy of the joyful talisman. And as I mentioned to Martha ma'am the other day, like uh, she has ensured that it is not a book anymore, but something larger in the current chaos and conflict that we find ourselves in the world today. And in fact, as I had mentioned to Martha ma'am last week and also Nikki ma'am, that this one of the senior most judges of the Caribbean, he is now very keen to work on how we can bring these five pillars of the joyful talisman into our jurisprudence of peace and value base. So this is going to be very interesting because he's also a board member of the Commonwealth Judicial Education, Institute. But the larger question is that how each one of us can contribute to the human values which is getting eroded, which has got eroded across the world, across communities. That's the challenge before all of us. So with that, I first invite our respected Nikki ma'am to kindly give the welcome address. We have some very interesting speakers. I will be sharing with both Martha ma'am and Nikki ma'am the assignments which our fellows have sent the participants for the certificate course. And I can tell you one of the best, definitely one of the best or the best assignment comes from our speaker today, one of the speakers, Hiya Chadda from India. She took up the cudgels, she took up the initiative to do a very, very good action research right in the field with this course book, which has been translated with children. And she has put together the impact of that course. So, of course, I will share things after the welcome address. So, before that, I invite Nikki ma'am to kindly give her welcome address, please. Nikki ma'am. Hello, hello, Nikki ma'am. Hello.
Dr. Veda Bias, you can hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Some ma'am, please. We request
Okay,
you
there
to
we
give
go.
your welcome
Thank you
address.
so much. Thank you, thank you. So I just want to share warmest welcome to everybody. Um, we Global Peace Led Talk is extremely proud of what is happening right now. It's a bridging of worlds. It's a celebration of a book that's just totally exploded with passion and with so much love. So, friends, colleagues, and honored guests, thank you so much for joining. We deeply appreciate you being a part of this. They say that writing is very lonely. It is, I know. It's a lonely endeavor, but bringing a book to life and then across borders is a monumental team effort. We are gathered here to celebrate the tremendous success of The Joyful Talisman, a story that has captured hearts in its original language. And today we celebrate its vibrant new life in Spanish. And that is a celebration. To our esteemed authors, Dr. Vedabase and Manasa Shah, congratulations. This is such a celebration. You crafted a world, a focus on peace and emotions that resonate far beyond the borders of your own experience. It is your unique vision that sparked this journey. Don't forget that. The hours that you spend together writing this book, look what is happening. The success of this book is a testament to your hard work, your talent, and your unwavering commitment to nonviolence communication. Thank you for inviting us into your world. However, we know that a book's journey into a new language requires more than just, whoops, my just dropped. requires more than just a literal swap of words. It requires a recreation of the soul of the book. Today, I want to specifically recognize the incredible work of Marta Lascona. Marta Lascona took this book completely to her heart. Her role was to translate. That was her role, to translate. But Marta fell deeply in love with the book because it resonated with her own beliefs. And she felt hopelessly in love with the book. It just took such beautiful ownership when she did the translations. Translation is not merely copying, it's an art. Mata, you did not just translate the words, you captured the nuance and the emotion, bringing this book to life for millions now of new Spanish speaking readers. Mata, you are the essential bridge that allowed Manasa and Dr. Veda's voice to reach new audiences, fostering connections across cultures. And I personally am extremely proud of you. Well done, Mata. The power of Spanish, it's one of the most widely spoken languages in the world. By translating this work, you have ensured that the story and the learning of this book can now spark dialogues in homes, libraries, bookstores all across and Latin America. This, to me, is the true power of literature, bridging gaps and making such an impact and a difference. So, on closing, Dr. Vedabayas and Munasa and Diamata, thank you so much. You have together created, to me, a masterpiece that speaks to humanity, especially in this time in our world that is in such deep, deep conflict. Thank you from my heart for your passion, your dedication, and for bringing this in both languages to life. I would like to ask everybody here to join me in a round of applause to Marta, to Dr. Veda Bias, and to Manoza, because this is just such a high impact book, impacting lives and making a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your so kind words. It's always been an inspiration and motivation. Uh, Also, what is important is that I thank you and Martha, ma'am, to actually, as I said, write from a book to become a philosophy, and where there are so many different people working on different angles. So that is the key, and how we can contribute to humanity is a challenge. So without also for from the publisher's side, Mr. Arish, he has not been able to join. He has specifically thanked you and Martha ma'am for your efforts, and Martha ma'am for the translation. So please accept his profound gratitude to both of you. Now, without wasting much time, let me introduce you to Hia Chadda. She's a student of Lady Irwin College in Delhi University, and as I said, she was one of the participants for the course of the Joyful Talisman, and we had actually put together. We had requested. One second, one second, one second. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, yeah. So, Hia Chadda was one of the participants. So, she was sharing, and as I said, she has done an excellent action research, which I will be sharing with all of you, and especially Martha ma'am and Nikki ma'am of the assignments that we have received. So, I thought it would be very worthwhile if she could share, because it was inspired by this course book. So, I thought it would be pertinent to request her to kindly share the her action research and some other work beyond what she's doing from that action research. So, without wasting any time, may I request Hiya Chadda to kindly share her findings and also what she's working on presently vis-a-vis the Joyful Talisman. Hiya.
So, good evening, good afternoon, good morning to all. And thank you, sir. Thank you, Nikki ma'am. Thank you, Marta ma'am, for this opportunity. And I got to work on this little action research. So, today I'll be presenting a few pointers on that, along with why there is need to, you know, to stop and avoid bullying. I'll also be discussing on that. And me, Ananya, Tanushka, and other few friends of mine, we are working on this. So I'll be presenting my screen now and sharing few insights for you all. So is my screen visible to you all?
Yes, correct. We can see your screen. Go ahead.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I'll start. So the topic is action research on teaching and cultivating human values in grade 7th through the Joyful Talisman coursebook. Now, value education is very necessary from 10 to 90, and and competition due to high academic pressure and comparison, which affects their emotional well-being and relationships with their friends. Then there's also lack of empathy and responsibility, because these students struggle to understand others' emotions and they're not self-aware. So they fail to take accountability, responsibility for their actions in group settings. Then there's the National Education Policy 2020 that highlights holistic development, that is, all round development, and a focus on ethical reasoning, values, empathy, and formation of character. Then there's also, schools must build character and they should not just focus on marks. So, education is true education when it nurtures responsible, socially aware individuals rather than just focusing on the academic achievement Then this is a little overview about my action research, where the sample size was 52 students from grade 7th. The research design included a pre-test and post-test, and the tools that were used were multiple choice questions, there was an assessment, and there was classroom observation. Then the intervention that I applied was the Joyful Talisman Value Framework, and the activities I conducted were based on a structured 5 pillar model of the human values, that are turning inwards, human interdependence, non-violent footprints, solidarity footprints, volunteerism. And they focused on self-awareness, emotional regulation, encourage cooperation among individuals, understanding of relationships, promoted mindful behavior, sensitivity towards others, and developed unity, collaboration, responsibility, while also encouraging acts of kindness and willingness to help their friends. And the approach that I used was very experiential, based on their experiences, activity based, and students learn values through reflection, discussion, and participating rather than just lecture based instructions. So now I'll be sharing a few glimpses with you, but before I'll be, these are the activities and the results that happened. So the activities that I used were guided meditation, and it was a voiceover by me. Then there was kindness bingo that the students had to solve and give it to me after a week, followed by acts of kindness that they did. Then there was a web of yarn activity that showed how each and every child slash student is connected despite of their differences from the family backgrounds, the economic backgrounds, their interests, their beliefs, etc. Then there was a film discussion, there was role play, and the results led to strong improvement in cooperation and volunteerism. there was slight improvement in regulating emotions, and there was uh, responsibility that needed reinforcement. So these are the activities. This is the kindness tracker bingo. This is a film discussion. The film was Tare Zameen Par, which is a story about a 9-year-old boy, Ishan Awasthi, who has dyslexia and is not he is never, his family, the school there never understands him. So he gets a mentor who understands him and is able to properly concentrate in his life ahead. And there was this web of yarn activity, as I discussed, where how each student is interconnected with each other. We discussed that. And there was this competition, sort of drawing my favorite plays. As the students, whatever plays they like, they drew that. Then these are the glimpses from the workshop day. These were some cards students prepared for their teacher, for their mates, etc., etc. And then there was this role play activity where situations were given to students, like uh, there's a student class and other students are bullying him/her. So how will you deal with those situations? Something like that. So we conducted this role play activity. And then there was this classroom pledge that happened at the end. So these were the results for this workshop and the workshop. So learning words was self-awareness and reflection. Then there's human independence, where we can see there's a lot of rise, non-violent footprints, solidarity footprints, and volunteerism and caring. All of these pillars showed sudden rise among the students. So before discussing bullying ahead, this is with bullying because while I was interning at a government school, I was observing students as well. Meanwhile, I was teaching, and I noted that there were instances where students felt bullied, or they felt students or the teachers or the parents never understood them. So there were these feelings. So now I'll be also discussing on that. So first of all, what is bullying? We all are aware about that, but it is repeated aggressive behavior that that occurs repeatedly over time, not just over a single conflict. There is power imbalance, which includes a situation where one student or a human holds physical, social, or psychological power over the other person. And then there is harm that is deliberate and meant to hurt, humiliate, or distress the victim. Now it has 4 types that involves physical, including hitting, pushing, kicking, or any bodily harm. Then there's verbal bullying that involves name calling, insults, teasing, or using abusive or threatening language. Social bullying that refers to excluding people, spreading rumors, or damaging someone else's social reputation. And then the most important these days is cyberbullying that occurs through digital platforms such as social media, messages, or online hacking. Causes and impact. Insecurity is developed among students who feel inadequate or threatened. They may bully others to feel superior or gain adult. Then there's need for dominance, that students seek power and status by asserting control over the weaker peers. There is peer pressure among the students that says that bullying may occur when students try to gain acceptance or approval from a dominant peer group. And there is lack of empathy when students fail to understand or value others' emotions. They may not recognize the harm they might cause. Then there is the impact on victim and also the bully. There's anxiety that victims often develop fear, stress, and constant worrying about attending school. Then there is self-esteem that becomes low due to repeated humiliation that damages a student's confidence and their worth. Academic decline is also observed. The grades may steep down due to emotional distress that reduces concentration, participation, and the overall performance. And the impact on bully is that there's poor emotional control that results in frequent aggressive behavior, reflecting weak emotional regulation and impulsivity, and risk of antisocial or delinquent behavior later on if the bullying gets unchecked, and this develops into long-term aggressive and tendencies that are very antisocial. Now, the role of teachers. So I'll be discussing this first as I was interning as a pre-service teacher. So the role of a teacher and bullying in school setting is very, very crucial and is important to me and the other fellow teachers. So creation of safe classroom environment is very important, and the teacher must establish clear behavioral norms that promote respect and psychological safety. Then there is also this encouragement to report such behavior so that students feel secure, reporting and modeling respectful behavior, that is creating good models, mentoring, and demonstrating empathy, fairness, and non-violent communication in day-to-day interactions. Then there is also use of restorative practices, that is, instead of only punishing, corporal punishment or anything, the teacher should promote dialogue, that is two-way communication between the students or the teacher student, taking accountability that will come through self-awareness and correction of the behavior. Then integrating empathy building activities, that is value-based education and cooperative activities should be embedded to strengthen the peer understanding. So these are a few real life instances that I gathered, and one of them is this short series that came in 2025. Here it is written wrong 2015. It is actually 2025. Last year, this series came, that is Adolescence, that depicted how teenage boys are influenced by peer pressure and social hierarchy. They start to show toxic masculinity and the need for dominance that shapes their behavior. And this series also highlights emotional neglect and lack of parental communication, and portrays the role of online spaces in reinforcing anger and harmful ideologies, demonstrating how unresolved insecurity can turn into aggression, and also emphasizes the need for empathy, emotional regulation, and guidance by adults. Then there was this case that happened in UP, Uttar Pradesh, India in 2024, where a teacher physically assaulted a 10-year-old girl for refusing to clean a toilet, highlighting abuse of authority and physical harm within the school settings. Then there's this case from Nirja Modi School in Jaipur, where a 9-year-old student's death drew attention to prolonged bullying and emotional distress, raising concerns about schools failing to address the harassment. Then there's an incident from China from the Jingyu School, where a 14-year-old student was violently beaten by classmates in an off-campus attack that went viral, sparkling a lot of protests about juvenile violence and school bullying, which is very important. And then the Brisbane cyberbullying tragedy from Australia, where a 12-year-old girl died due to suicide after experiencing online harassment and a catfishing scheme, demonstrating how bullying extends beyond physical spaces. And this one is very recent, that from minor sisters aged 14 and 16 died by suicide, coming an online tap game that took routine and emotional balance, highlighting how digital pressure, addiction, and lack of communication can lead to severe emotional distress. Now, this is very similar to this game that was launched few years back called Blue Whale, where the students or the children were taking over their life and doing irrelevant, unnecessary tasks, which the game said, that led to its ban and became a very viral sensation. Now, this is very similar to that only. And this case shows how peer pressure, online habit reinforcement, behaviorism, that is rewarding the children with rewards, and isolation from family. And due to all this reinforcement, the children become really isolated from their families. These lead to impact on mental health and a reminder that bullying is not only face to face but also cyber or digitally fueled. Then we also need to link values, and we need to prevent bullying. So the 5 values, the 5 pillars of joyful talisman that were turning in words, this leads to emotional regulation because we are practicing self-awareness, and this helps students to manage their anger and control their reactions, impulsive reactions. Then human interdependence, that leads to channel empathy, that is keeping yourself in someone else's shoes, that helps to understand the interconnectedness and encourages respect and support mutually. Then practicing non-violence, that is having control over your reactions so that students learn to consider the consequences of their behavior before acting. Then solidarity, that means standing against bullying, that is a united peer group, discourages isolation and promotes collective responsibility. And last, volunteerism, that supports peer culture, acts of kindness that foster inclusion, including everybody, and reducing hostile peer dynamics of friend groups. Then we will be discussing what schools can do to prevent bullying. So the schools can install monitored complaint boxes that need to be checked weekly and appoint a designated anti-bullying officer, coordinator, or a teacher who keeps in check that every school should have a specific staff member that is responsible for receiving, documenting, and acting on bullying complaints within a fixed timeline. Then conducting monthly structured classroom sessions and on empathy and conflict resolution, where the school should schedule compulsory sessions using role plays, activities, and real life scenarios to teach students how to respond to bullying. And they should also maintain written incident records and follow up meetings as proof, so that every reported case must be documented, discussed with parents, and reviewed to prevent repetition. Then there shall be also, this supervision of common areas using CCTV cameras. That is high risk areas such as the corridors, outside the washrooms, playgrounds. These need to have adult supervision to reduce physical intimidation. And introducing peer buddy systems for vulnerable students, not just vulnerable students, for every student, they should have a friend or someone that they can rely on. That is, new or socially isolated students should be paired with trained peer mentors to prevent exclusion or marginalization. Now, the thing is what we can do. So, students must practice empathy and refuse to support bullying behavior. They should report these incidents instead of remaining silent. Now, the parents must create open communication at home, and they should also monitor behavioral changes and the online activity, limiting their child's screen time, etc. And both must work together to build a culture of respect and accountability. Because bullying reduces when each of us chooses respect over silence and responsibility over the indifferences. Yeah, so thank you for your attention. Thank you for listening to me.
Hello,
If
hello.
anyone
Thank
has any
you.
questions, they can answer.
Yes,
They can,
definitely.
ask me.
Also, in between, yes, please, yes, please. Also, my request to Joseph, as we can see in the WhatsApp group, quite a number of participants, including our next speaker, Sylvanus, they are facing serious difficulty in joining. And if you can see Joseph in the group, they are sharing that there
Yeah,
is some
Dr.
error.
Veda Bias, they're not appearing on the Zoom to join. Send them the link again, please. Tell them to go off and sign on the link. Then I will watch, because right now it's not appearing. They're not
Yeah,
using
ma'am.
the right
I
link.
shared the link once again, and if you could check in the WhatsApp group,
Yeah.
they continue to share the
Okay.
messages.
Okay.
Ma'am, in the group they are sharing. That is the issue.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But before we go to the next speaker, would someone like to ask some questions to Hia regarding her findings and also the work that she is doing on bullying? And I know that Nikki ma'am is very, very interested in this work of bullying, and Martha ma'am is working a lot to frame this whole idea of bullying in several countries. So, if we have any questions for Hia, because this is something very serious work that she's doing.
Hi, hi. I don't really have a specific question for you, but what I want to say, I'm incredibly impressed with your presentation and the work you've been doing. You've really hit the right buttons here, because everything in your presentation is a reality of what's happening. And what I appreciate is that you brought this to notice and that you are working on this to impact lives and make a difference. So, Haya, I just want to say thank you so much. It's incredibly impressive. And I hope that you're going to stay with the training as we move forward. because I can see that the Joyful Talisman is going to have different part one, part two, part three type of thing, and the impact that it's going to have, because what you've said is true. I'm in the UK, and in the UK, there are serious issues with this. There are children killing each other. That's how bad it is. So, thank you so much, Haya. Excellent, excellent presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Now, actually, our next speaker was supposed to be Sylvanus from Guinea, and he has been he's trying to introduce the joyful joyful talisman program in his school. But as we can check in the WhatsApp group, he is having a lot of difficulties in joining, and in fact, he has been sharing messages that he is there are some error when he is trying to join. Now, I really don't know what to do about it. Quite a number of participants in that WhatsApp group I could see they are not able to join because of the same problem. I'm not sure what exactly, because we all have joined. But nevertheless, I don't know what can be done, but what we can listen to is if we can request Joseph to share the video of Antonio Rivas. Our friend Antonio is from Venezuela, and he has been doing a lot of work based on this idea of the joyful talisman. And for your information, he has started writing a series of chapters which could eventually come together as a book on the second pillar of the joyful talisman, human interdependence literacy, with case studies from different countries of Latin America. And he's trying to put together that book with case studies from Latin America. So, Joseph, if we can kindly, if you can share the video of Antonio Rivas.
Yeah, thank you very much. I would have shared the video. He sent me the link about 2 days ago. Trying to access the video now, he has deleted the video from the platform where he uploaded it to. So there's no video there for me to share right now. It's an empty folder. You can go ahead. There is no video there to share. He has deleted the folder, the video from the folder where he uploaded it. I can't find the video there again.
Dr. Veda Byers, hello?
We can hear you, Dr. Nikki.
Yeah,
Dr.
while Joseph is sorting the video, you can maybe put the next guest speaker on, and then Joseph will share when he's ready.
Hello, Joseph.
just shared with you that the video is no longer there. He has deleted the video from where he uploaded it to. He shared a Google Drive link with me, and I can't find the video there again. The video is no longer there. There is no video to share.
Oh my goodness. I think there must be some technical issue. So, because he said that he had some problems of connecting, so that's why he shared the video. But since we have
Yeah,
not been able to get it, so I think we must
yeah,
go and request our esteemed and respected Martha ma'am,
yeah.
because this is her day. She has translated the whole book, and yesterday we were really enthused, all of us, when she shared the message that she has been invited by one of the close associate of His Holiness the Pope for an interview, and she will be sharing the important points of the idea of human values and the book that she has translated with them. So, Martha, ma'am, the floor is all yours.
Okay. See you, Ben? Okay? Dear teacher, colleagues, friends, and respect guests. Good afternoon. It's a truly an honor to be here with you today. Today, we present the Spanish edition of the Joyful Talisman course book on human values, created by Dr. Bedabayas Kundu and Munasa Shah. I'm deeply grateful for their vision and trust. Bedabayas, Munasa, and Nikki, and every people. This book is not simple publication. It is the result of the pedagogical journey from reflection to practice. My journey began when I translated the Joyful Talisman conversation on human values for a joyful world into Spanish. While translating, I realized something essential. The philosophy was powerful, very powerful, but teachers needed practical tools. Education today cannot remain abstract. It must be lived in classrooms, in communities, and in daily decisions. Why? Why the mothers? We are living in complex time. We see social fragmentation, emotional distress, ethical confusion, environmental crisis. Education must respond with clarity and responsibility. So, the course book transforms values into actions. It's very, very important for us. It's what is the ethical foundation? The ethical inspiration of this work comes from Gandhi's talisman. Before making a decision, ask yourself, will this action serve the most vulnerable? The course book turns philosophy into practical activities for classrooms and communities. The course book is structured around 5 pillars. Turning inwards, human interdependence literacy, non-violent footprints, solidarity footprints, caring, and volunteering. It's very important. Turning inwards, and community. These are not abstract concepts. They are educational pathways. For example, turning inwards, the first pillars, is very, very important for me. Focuses on inner awareness. Thought mindful walking, reflective journaling, and emotional regulation exercise. Students learn to observe their thoughts and reactions. Without inner awareness, there is not ethical action. This is experiential learning. Human interdependence is very important because it's the connection with people, connection with nature, is the connection with a world. So every action has relational impact. Students begin to understand that responsibility is shared. It's very, very important. Non-violent and solidarity footprints. Non-violence is not only the absence of physical harm, it's expressed in language, reactions, and decisions. In classroom, this means replacing sarcasm, for example, with respectful dialogue and creating reflection space after conflict. Solidarity becomes visible when daily choices curb. Responsibility becomes concrete. Caring and volunteer work. The final pillar connects reflection with action. Self-awareness, interdependence, non-violence, solidarity, and it's very important into community. For example, in a school, environmental cleanup project, peer mentoring programs, or community service initiatives. It's very important. Service is not charity. It's education in action. Helping others makes us more human. Why the Spanish edition matters? Spanish is spoken by more than 500 million people worldwide. The edition allows educators to apply this framework within their own cultural context. But it's not a copy. It's an adaptation. It's very important. It's a bridge, but it's not copy. It's adaptation. Closing. Reflection. Human values are not abstract ideas. They are educational decisions. They are ways of relating. As educators, we do not only transmit knowledge, We shape character, we shape responsibility, we shape love, we shape the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the profound presentation. Now, the floor is open for some brief interactions. So we have some esteemed guests here. So if anyone would like to share some points, they're most welcome. As I see, Dr. Franca is there, Cynthia is there, Madam Indira Ji is there, Ada Rizo is there. So if anyone wants to share some points, it would be nice before we go for the closing remarks. So I really want if some of you would like to share their views. Madam Indira, she has already introduced the whole Joyful Talisman program in her school. Yes, Madam Ada Rizzo. Yes, please. Please go ahead. You are very. And Nikki, ma'am. Dr. Franca. Yes, please.
Just 2 words. Today is a very bad day for our humanity. Maybe liberation for Iran, but while in Italy, most people are fascinated by the Sanremo Festival among pacifist songs. Anyway, I really appreciate a few words because so I know Ada wants to tell something. I didn't prepare anything. I appreciate very much the speech of Marta and the young lady from India. I don't remember her name, who explained very well about bullying. Bullying is a problem also here in Italy, and I know also in the US, having an American granddaughter. So I know very well this problem. And we are facing bad times, really very bad times. So I understand that this magazine is very important for human rights and for introducing values, no, human values, as well as education. Education is very, very important and the basis of all things. Without a good education, which kind of education? I have written something about links here about education, human rights, because there are articles written in the past by me. So I was also teacher for about 40 years. So I worked also in this field in all grades of schools. And so I can also abroad. And so I can ensure that it's the very big problem is education, but a right kind of education to avoid all problems we are facing, especially after the advent of internet in 1990. And and with the advent of AI, especially, we are facing big problems. So I appreciate very, very much. I have invited a lot of people, but thank you, Ada, thank you, Cinzia, for coming. And I leave the floor. So Ada can add something also. I don't want to talk a lot. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Marta, Joseph, Kundo, Veda Bias Kundo. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I think Ada Rizzo is wanting to speak. If she can, she wants to speak. If she wants to share her points, kindly please go ahead. No?
Thank you so much. My warm greeting to our president, Dr. Nicky De Pina, Marta Lescano, and Dr. Franca Colozzo, and all of you. The central message of the joyful talisman is value into action, connection to people and nature, inner awareness, non-violence, and solidarity footprint. And that the joy is not a fleeting emotion, but a conscious choice and an inner strength that can guide personal and collective transformation. Cultivating joy means living according to solid values, facing challenges with a constructive attitude, and becoming agents of positive change in one's own life and community. When we speak about peace and human rights, as I am ambassador of human rights in a Global Peace Let's Talk, we often think of major treaties or political decision. However, true peace begins first and foremost with the human value each of us cultivates every day. There are personal values such as honesty and responsibility, which build our integrity. Without inner coherence, we cannot be credible advocates for peace. There are relations value such as respect and empathy. There are personal relation value which transform difference into dialogue. Only when we truly listen to one another does peace become possible. Finally, there are social values such as justice and solidarity, which make the defense of human rights concrete. Peace, I think, in my opinion, is not merely the absence of conflict, but the presence of fairness. Today, as Peace and Human Rights Ambassador, we are called not only to speak about these values, but to embody them, because every day, daily action can become an act of peace. Thank you to all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you. So now, if we can go to the last part of this whole fantastic session, I'm sure, Martha, ma'am, now the Spanish version will be available in the website of Funda Passion and also GPLT, so that people across the Spanish world can make use of this course on the human values. I'm sure, as you pointed out, almost 56 million people who are speaking Spanish. So I'm sure it will go in the length and breadth of the Spanish world, and we can, percolate the message of human values there. So now, with your permission, may I request Munasa to give the closing remark, my friend, who has basically we are working, co-writing this whole book, The Joyful Talisman, which has now got into a philosophical canvas. And so we will be, it would be an honor for us to express our gratitude. And so, as a closing remark, may I invite my friend Munasa Shah from India to kindly give her views. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Veda. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Today is not just the launch of a Spanish version of the Joyful Talisman course book. It is the opening of a new doorway. With the Spanish edition of the Joyful Talisman course book, a journey that began in one language now finds a new voice, a new rhythm, and a new community of hearts. When Veda and I first came up with this book, our intention was simple yet profound: to offer tools for inner clarity, emotional resilience, and conscious living. Seeing it now in Spanish reminds me that joy, healing, and self awareness are not confined by geography or grammar, they are universal longings. I'm deeply grateful to Dr. Martha ma'am, Dr. Nikki ma'am, and everyone who believed in this vision, the publishers, collaborators, and readers who carry this work forward. A book truly comes alive not when it's written, but when it is received, reflected upon, and lived. I would like to especially express my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Martha for bringing the Joyful Talisman coursebook to life in Spanish. Thank you, Dr. Martha, for your commitment, your care, and for helping this journey of joy travel farther than I could have imagined. May the Spanish edition serve as a gentle companion to many, guiding, comforting, and inspiring transformation in homes, classrooms, and hearts across the world. As we gather for this beautiful occasion, we are also observing the holy month of Ramadan, a sacred time when we fast from dawn to dusk. But fasting is not merely abstaining from food or drink, it is an inward journey of self discovery, introspection, discipline, and healing. It's a conscious effort to refine our character and to inculcate human values within ourselves. The wisdom behind this month is transformation, so that when Ramadan concludes, we emerge more compassionate, more caring, and morally elevated in the way we think, speak, and act throughout the rest of the year. These are the very values we seek to promote and propagate: empathy, service, dignity, and responsibility toward one another. I sincerely wish and pray that we all continue to serve humanity with sincerity and make this world a place truly worth living in for each and every one of us. From my heart, from the core of my heart, thank you so much, Dr. Martha ma'am. Dr. Nikki, ma'am, thank you so much for everything you all have done for us. You have given this whole concept, this whole idea, the joyful talisman, wings that we couldn't have imagined, and it has gone beyond that. Thank you for celebrating this milestone with me and Veda. This journey continues now in a new language with the same joyful spirit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Munasa. It is really thanks for your profound observations. So now I think we come towards the end of this program. Unfortunate thing was our speaker from Guinea. He could not join because of some technical error, and also our friend from Venezuela, his video could not be played because again there were some technical disruptions. We are living in a technological age, so technological disruptions is definitely going to be there. We have to live with it. We can't be having perfection all the time. So thanks from all of us here, and we look forward to new journey as we see so much of conflicts across the world to really make a difference. Possibly the other day, before I sign off, I was having a very intense discussion with our friend Janet, and Janet was talking about his paper and his work on Buddhist diplomacy. And then I and Janet were talking. It is good, like, say, for instance, we are all in a closed meeting discussing and all, we are having the same views. The challenge today is how to reach out to people who have totally different views than us, who believe in violence, who believe in conflict, who believe in authoritarianism. How we can make difference. Just talking amongst us is not good enough anymore. How we can make a impact on the others is the critical thing. Possibly we need to have a brainstorming session very soon with all of you on what could be the strategy, what could be the pathways, so that I don't need to tell Martha ma'am that we need to work for peace. I need to tell to people who hate the idea of peace or non-violence, how we can challenge for all of us. So let us think about it and let's have a brainstorming session on that aspect. And thanks once again from all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this evening. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Ciao Ada,
Thank you.
ciao Marta
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
e tutti. Cinzia, ciao. Buona
Ciao.
serata. Have a nice weekend, the Sunday.
Have a nice too.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Nikki.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ada.